have a feeling that the EU policy is in a very difficult situation at the moment. From the one point of view, we are, of course, as Radu said, we are restating the obvious. So the Green Deal is also about enhancing EU energy security, it's about, having domestic supplies, but we are not there yet, and this is the problem. So we didn't do much, and we also talked very briefly before we started the discussion here on air that since 8 years, we haven't done much in the EU. So of course, there is a direction, there is an idea how to do it. And we keep repeating this, that these are methods to, both decrease prices, decrease import dependence. So the countries were not doing enough, and we are in a very difficult situation. We, of course, see the Repower EU communication. We will see a new communication in May, but then we will also see the period of troubles. And it will be connected with some countries getting back to coal or lignite. We also have this discussion in Poland, and this is also the discussion on ETS too, ETS in buildings and transport. We will be very much limited by the word of inflation. And this is also the case of high energy prices and also high gas prices, and in a certain moment, high CO2 prices, which was a huge problem for Poland, of course.
As my colleagues mentioned already, the prerequisites are in place. We have clear targets. We have a lot of money available. And we see that the characteristics of these clean energy sources offer not just decarbonization, but also energy security. So everything is pretty much in place. And while we understand that our decision makers are concerned about the immediate, measures to maybe replace a cutoff in gas deliveries and others, we have to constantly put out, facts and arguments and then calculations and try to be as persuasive as possible, showing including within the projects that are EUKI financed, all right, that it simply makes sense for all these reasons to invest in renewable energy sources, in energy efficiency, in electrification. I want to emphasize that. So basically in beefing up and in reinforcing the power grids of our countries, because this is absolutely the no regret option for everything that follows.
Countries are different and they pursue different energy policies. We cannot have one fit-all solution, because it, as we saw, it doesn't really work in reality.
I think one of the issues that we mean to underline, or we want to push forward, is, for example, keeping the focus on large-scale projects, like in Bulgaria now. We see in the revised Recovery and Resilience Plan a bet on battery storage. So essentially, Bulgarian government says we're going to invest 1.5 billion of the Recovery and Resilience Plan on battery storage, and this, I think, is a bet. It's a gamble. I think it will be much safer if these countries, which are capital poor, energy poor, with huge energy poverty, among the population, they should have safer bets. They should invest heavily in what's already been proven: energy efficiency, wind energy off and onshore. Whatever is not explored, we should massively invest in that. We should just do it. Keeping, of course, as long as possible, I should say, as long as feasible, is what you already have in terms of infrastructure, including, unfortunately, in the area of nuclear, but then also gas and coal. But at the same time, in the long term, I think we need to make it very clear that in terms of energy security, it would be best if we focus on renewables, and if we prepare also the R&D part, so Europe needs to invest heavily, and also these countries need to invest heavily in R&D.